All right. Welcome people to the Commissioners meeting for August 27th.
Yeah.
Like to,
Yeah, give Nancy an agenda, thank you.
yes, thank you. Okay, so I'll call the meeting to order. And first thing on the agenda is the approval of the agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, so we might have to hold on the non-public. Sorry, Jeff, but we might need to hold on that because I'd like Mark to be available for
Yeah.
that.
Right,
Should
thank
be
you.
all three of us.
Alrighty. Very
With
good.
me?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
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 Yeah, the non was your review, so.
Oh, yes, okay, I didn't realize
Don't
that.
worry.
Yeah,
I knew it was coming.
Your
Around
whipping
the
day will
corner.
come later.
yeah, yeah, so.
Okay, great.
Nope, that's not a problem at all.
Alright.
Okay, so with that change, make a motion that we approve the agenda as changed.
I approve.
Aye.
Great.
All right. The minutes for last week.
Mm.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay. I had one spelling change
Mm-hmm.
under the signature items agreement. There's no R in it.
Very good, thank you.
So I think it has two E's and no R.
Oh, there it is. 'Cause I'm saying, wait, no, agreement's spelled right, but that's the second agreement, not the first agreement.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, so your mind just goes past it.
Oh, yeah.
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 Sometimes that's,
Um,
many eyes are a good thing.
Did you have anything else?
No,
No.
no, I'm good with it.
Okay, so approve the minutes as amended?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we have an operations manifest
Mhm.
of $4,187.77. Make a motion that we approve or start for discussion,
I'll second that.
Okay,
okay?
And I only have one question.
All right.
The expenses all add up, but just for my edification, what is the total dollar amount of deposit at the 475?
what do you mean, what do you mean?
Okay, on here, there's a positive 475, it says,
Yep,
total
yep.
dollar amount of deposit, I'm just wondering what that is.
It could be many things. Did you need that reflected on ongoing? Because that's how the manifest has been done and,
No, I probably missed it, I mean, I can go through all the bills and add these up and figure out the 4,187.77, that's a piece of cake. But this is not an expense, it's a deposit.
yeah.
So I'm just wondering, what was that?
It's probably driveway inspections, it's probably,
That's right there, you probably answered,
Okay.
it's along those lines, okay, that's all I
Yeah.
need to know. I don't need to know the specifics, and I'll find it next time if I go into the actual QuickBooks. What are you, I noticed what you sent us, the QuickBooks were for prior dates, we're not getting the QuickBooks, we're just getting this stuff, right? What you send us, email?
I've been doing it the
Right.
same for a while, so if you're talking about something else, I'm not aware of what you're talking
Okay.
about at this
I
moment.
won't waste time here, I'll just come to the office and you can show me exactly what's
I don't-
going on.
What's going on with what,
Okay, when you send the Excel spreadsheets, okay, at the very last Excel spreadsheet has the manifest for the current period. And that's fine, that's easy. But then what I'm getting on my attachments are tabs that reflect prior dates. And what they actually are from the QuickBooks system. So they have all the accounts listed, the expenses. And I'm looking at payroll and saying, dumb me, I say, why is Mike Smith and why is Ralph Legend still on there? Because it was one dated
Are you
back to
talking
January
about a
or something.
page that's included that?
Oh, yeah,
Oh.
In other words,
it has the history
It's the
showing.
entire workbook, it's the
Yeah,
entire
I'm
workbook.
not aware of what that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, not a problem.
Yeah,
It's not, I got that now.
yeah,
It threw me for a loop when I was trying to go through it last night.
yeah, I just don't even look through the prior, I just look at
Yeah, I'm not
this
aware
week's.
that that's even
Even there,
something
right?
that's
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, interesting,
Yeah.
okay, cool, all right.
You,
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, I'll say aye.
Aye.
okay,
Okay.
great.
So the next one is water assessment. $10,000 in-house transfer to the new water hookup account. Making a motion that we approve that.
I'll second that.
Any questions?
Yeah, and it's along the same lines. Again, it's similar to the operating manifest. There is a total dollar amount of deposit of $3,125. So again, 10,000. Obviously, somebody
Paid for a water
paid for a
hookup.
water hookup. We're transferring it
Mhm.
into the proper account. So I was just wondering what this 3,125 reflected.
It's a deposit,
Probably water,
it's water payments.
payments.
Okay, so that, because water payments are 600, right?
No, they're $550.
$550.
550.
They're 600, some of them are being collected at 600, some are now being collected at 700
Right.
because of late fees.
Yep,
Okay. No, our standard annual fee is now 550. I thought it was 600.
550
550.
was what
Okay.
we approved for this year.
Okay.
We kept it the same.
All right. So those are really late payments that
Yes,
total
That ups that.
3,125.
Yes.
Okay. And some of them have the extra late payment fees added on to it.
mm-hmm,
Sure does.
All right. And just so everybody knows, so I know, I mean, for the future, if the water bill is not paid, what's the cutoff date again? April 30th?
May
It's-
1st.
it's due May 1st.
May 1st. So technically, after May 1st, a fine gets added.
Yes,
Okay.
Yep,
We should be doing that.
yes, yeah.
$50.
Yeah, that's the first 50, and then if they go another 6 weeks? No, Another
It's like
couple
another
months.
30 days.
another 30 days?
Another 30 days, but it always ends up being more.
Right, so every 30 days, it increases. Is it like another $50 fine or something like
No,
that?
it
No.
it increases to 100.
Right.
Good, okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay, all right. Again, that's, I'm just,
It gets attention, which is
which is
nice,
great, which is
so,
great.
Yeah,
We want people to pay on time, but if you don't pay on time,
right.
oops.
Right, there's,
I mean, you know, we pay your credit card late, they're gonna tack on a fee.
that's right. Okay. So, I'm gonna say aye.
Aye.
All right. So 2-0.
Yep.
And then the last is the water project 2020.
Yeah, which is null and void at this point. So we have to revisit that. I did send an email about it.
Yes,
And that's related to the fact that the Dawson check did
Yeah.
not,
Correct. So the last that it was used was in December. Someone physically did a check to Dawson from that account.
mm-hmm,
And in further review, I found that the next check that was issued in January, so in between the time December and January, they closed this account,
okay,
I guess.
yeah,
I mean, I can't speak to it, but, so the next check that was written was actually a check that was, that we had the bank do out of that account before it was closed.
right. We owed them, we had to pay them very quickly before the end of March, so because they rescinded the late fees.
No, we're not, this.
Oh, that's not even that one?
No, we're talking about this water 2020, this,
the water
the
project.
water project
Right.
account. So someone opened up a new account. So in the interim in December to January, the account was closed and a new one was opened, which is weird because I don't know what the purpose was because that was prior to the breach.
Yes,
Mhm.
okay.
So, yeah, so checks remained in existence for it. They never got new checks for the new account. And so when Dawson went to take that check that we all thought was
Good.
good, lo and behold, they were like, no, that account was closed.
Okay.
And
Okay,
a new one was
Can
open.
you explain that situation to Abigail so she?
Yeah, she
so they-
fully
they-
understands.
okay.
Okay, good, okay.
So we're gonna have to get with Dinah, and I wish she was here, to try to figure out what we're gonna do. Are we gonna, one, physically go to the bank and have them issue a bank check under that account for that payment? Or are we gonna make a decision that we're gonna issue the check out of the water account, and then when we finalize this water project that we were gonna
Mhm.
do away with anyway,
Correct.
we'll make up for it then.
I'm gonna make a motion that we pay the Dawson bill out of water assessment.
Great.
And then we'll deal with the internal stuff, moving forward.
Excellent.
I'll second
Agreed.
that.
Thank you.
Okay, aye,
Aye.
all right,
All right, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, when I saw
And
that
I'll let
last
her
night-
know, if, you- well, I still have, Dinah's still gonna have to sign it.
Right,
yeah.
So, when I can pinpoint her coming in, you guys will have to sign as well.
Mhm.
And then I can let her know that she can come by and get it or
okay.
whatever.
Okay.
I promised Dana last week he'd get paid this week. So, I guess that.
Who knew?
That's,
Right, right.
that's the way it's gonna end
Things
up
still
being.
keep popping up.
Yeah, so we tried to pay him early, but,
We tried.
Very understanding.
Yeah, no,
Very,
Abigail was very
very,
good when I dealt with
very
her
nice
with the
about
late
it. Yeah.
fees.
Yeah.
And we had our cyber
Yeah.
breach and couldn't pay anybody.
Yeah,
right,
she was very good about it.
right. Yeah, and we'll have to check to see, I don't know if they would have created a new project account.
There is,
Oh, there
there's
is.
one in existence,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's not
But
the
we
one
don't-
we have checks for.
Ah, okay,
They apparently
so-
never got checks,
all right,
so. Or if they did, I don't know where they are.
okay. So that was a
So
2-0.
yeah, so this water project here for the in-house
Mm-hmm.
transfer, we'll have to handle it some other time, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Figure out
Yep.
what exactly account
Yep.
we're swapping things
Yep.
from. All right, that'll work. All right,
Okay,
so the next thing on the agenda is the DPW.
That's me.
9:13, yep.
Okay, so I see here young Frau, we haven't gotten to that yet. I did want to double check that, Tony didn't want to tackle that alone, we wanted to make sure that's a go. Should I call Ian or everything's all set to put sand in there and dispose of that?
I
As far
would,
as we know,
as far as we know, it should be ready.
okay,
You might want to take a peek inside the vault, inside
Yeah.
the pit before
Okay.
you start
right,
filling it.
Okay.
If you have any questions, certainly reach
Call
out to Ian.
okay.
But
Cause I
it's-
noticed the cover's on there and it's safe, it's not like, the
Like
hole's
someone's gonna
open,
fall in, yeah.
exposed like it was in
Right.
the winter, which happens every once in a while, but,
Okay.
okay, so that's a go ahead, we'll take care of that. Ash Blunt, I talked with Caleb yesterday and he looked like he was marking things.
Okay.
I saw some grade stakes with that blue and white tape over on the corner of Sarnan and Byrne, so I think I know he was in here yesterday, cause I spoke to him right over there.
Okay.
So he's on that. They're gonna, see when they can get the log truck in here definitely before snow flies, to pick those logs up that are gonna be a problem with the wing.
Excellent.
The fuel log, now that's something we got started on our own back in
February.
January or February.
February.
And what it is, well, Caitlin, it was before Jen was here, and it's basically that, yeah. It's got date, vehicle, mileage or hours, and then the gallons that we pumped in. And there should be a full sheet, I've got like 5 or 6
It is, it's in a book.
sheets, right, in the office.
Yep,
And it should be a full page of all the fuel usage we used,
Yep.
up until I got on the second page, which I think was in the beginning of May.
Okay.
So like I said, I'll hand those sheets in every time I
When
fill them out.
you're completed.
And you guys do what you want with them. I mean, you know, we wanna compare
So
what's
what-
been delivered
right.
and what's been going on and however, now you gotta keep in mind, since we started that, we've been now getting it over there at the state shed too, so that's gonna add to the fuel log. I don't know how they come in, it must come in as a bill that we must pay
It is.
to the state, and I
Yeah.
mean, I would assume that would go in the same folder or file.
Yeah, when you get it from the state
I don't know.
shed, does it issue you a receipt at the point, just like
No.
regular gas? There's nothing?
No,
No.
I get nothing, it must all go straight to the office.
You can't even see how many gallons you pumped?
Oh yeah, I can see how many gallons I pump.
Okay.
It only allows you to pump 40 gallons. I think those tanks are like 45 or something on
Okay.
those trucks. So sometimes it doesn't fill them up all the way. You know, depends on what's in them. You know, we don't try to run them that empty anyway.
Yeah.
So, you know, between what we have as the log and what they're sending as receipts, what I would assume would be your fuel log to
Yeah,
check back at.
so I'm not aware of what the process is. I did find the original spreadsheet that she created off the cloud or whatever you want to call it. But there's no process, there's no indication of what's being done with this
Okay.
data.
Well, then maybe we create a process, because it sounds pretty straightforward.
Well-
If you go to the state shed, you just make a note of how many gallons you took, and that gets entered into the log, and later on we'll see the bill. And if you're taking it from our internal system, it's filling out that, right?
We need to discuss a process and what you guys want to extract from it.
Okay,
Right, because what, the goal of the fuel log
Right.
is to be able to recognize when, based on the 500-gallon tank at DPW 2, so when we fill the tank, then we can figure out how much was used versus how much was received, you know?
Right.
And there's a old calculation that was done years ago to put that together, just so that we knew. And one of the other things that can come from this is if we notice that the grader is, or any piece of equipment is using more fuel than normal, that's something that can get looked at, you know? Sometimes that says something's going bad in the machine, you know? So it's things like that that can get picked up from when we actually get this thing working.
Yeah, so it's all been documented since then, and
Yeah.
okay.
just,
Yeah.
like I said.
Yep.
You'll start seeing more usage because the grader's back. And
Yeah.
Yes.
We just fueled her up with 45 gallons or so, and
Okay.
she's gonna be out there kind of cutting back a little bit on Little Shore, so.
What kind of fuel is this again?
Diesel.
Diesel.
Everything we use is diesel.
Even the trucks, they're diesel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the only thing, and I know
Is the
Jen's
mix.
been trying,
Yep.
is at the state shed as well, they have gas. And we use gas for the power saws, the backpack blower, you know, we have a little pressure washer, you know, those types of things.
Well, that goes back to the process. Do we really want to include that? It seems to me the fuel log really has to do with the heavy equipment.
Right.
The rolling
Oh, yeah, I'm just saying,
Right.
we're still in the process of trying to get that mixed, the gasoline fob. We don't have that yet. Jen's playing phone tag, or
No,
not
they
even, they're
just
just
don't
not
even
responding at
respond
the
anymore.
fuel
Okay.
distribution center where she's trying to get that extra fob. Because right now, you probably saw a bill a couple weeks ago for another one of those $30 mixed gallons of fuel from Coleman's.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I like to have fuel on hand for the power saw, God forbid, on a weekend or after hours, a tree comes down and, you know, you gotta make a few cuts.
Yeah.
Right.
So I had to pick up a gallon, cause we've been using it in the blower and in some of the power saws, making, you know, cleaning up the brush and debris. So, you know, we had to purchase another, and again, if I could get 5 gallons of gas over at the state shed, I'm not paying that kind of money for a mixed gallon of gas.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
So, you know, Jen's been working that angle on that, but that's, different than the fuel log.
Right.
It
Yeah.
just relates to
The
fuel,
fuel
so I
log-
threw it
Yeah.
out there.
So we're all straight. I think the fuel log should be for diesel only.
And that's what it is.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And you will see, like I said, the way the state sets the receipts for the diesel that we're getting for the trucks over
Right.
there.
Right.
You'll see the same thing with the gas,
Right.
5 gallons here, and you know, I could explain what it's being used for.
Yeah, and I know it's generally a whole lot more cost effective to get it from the state.
Well, exactly, we're gonna need that stump grinder
trying.
in here come fall to grind all these stumps that Asplund cut, that
Yeah.
are close to the road, that are gonna be
No
wing
kidding.
bangers, we talked about it. I think we put money aside for it back in the winter, for the stump grinder, that's gonna take gas, and I'll be probably buying 5-10 gallons at a
Yeah.
time to fill that up,
Yeah.
to run that back when we get going on that. So hopefully that'll come through with that, and we'll be able to get that. So, the disposals, I will see Bob at 10 Burn and get him to take care of that one. I'm sure that's not gonna be a problem. And, this other guy here, we got a new request that, so you want me to reach out and talk to him and see what he's interested in?
like how much he's
How much
looking
he wants
for.
to get, and, where it is, I could put it on his property, he's off of 113. What is it, 1324, it's pretty much the first house when you come out of Idlewise on the right.
Yeah, he previously requested, and at the time we didn't have any, so.
Okay.
I
So
told
now
him
that
to
we're
reach
getting
back
some
out to
ditching
us, and
done.
he did, so.
And he's part of Idlewise, right?
Yes.
We have
Yes.
we got like 1 or 2 homes that are on 113
Yes.
Oh, there's a lot more than
Yeah.
that.
No, it's like a mile's worth,
Yeah.
from,
Yeah.
from the shop
Yeah,
from the shop.
all the way down to Grissom.
Right.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All those
I didn't
homes on that,
realize all of those were- okay.
homes on that side are all part.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll reach out and I'll give him a shout today,
Okay,
and,
yeah, so I'm
And
gonna have
then-
them sign it
okay,
and take care of that, and I'll give it back to you.
okay. You
Nancy
sign
already
that one
signed
for
that
her.
one, Woody needs
Bob,
to sign
too.
this one.
So, so like I said, we got the grader back, the backhoe service has been done.
Yeah,
So, we're gonna move forward with getting that thing going. You know, well, we've been using it, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we get the lights are all on there and the antenna and all those other things. It still looks like those stabilizers aren't totally fixed, so they're under a warranty still, and I'm gonna have to get him back here to figure out what the heck's going on with those, cause that's frustrating.
What's happening? They're just not.
Yeah, when you go to put them, the same thing, they'll ride up. Then sometimes they stick like they're supposed to. You know, so it should be a one-time deal. You put the stabilizers down, they should stay.
Right.
I don't know why they're weeping up, so. He's done a bunch of things to it, and I'll talk with him on the phone more about
Are they
that.
hydraulic or pneumatic?
Hydraulic.
Hydraulic.
The 2019, I brought that in to get that wrap done on that exhaust and all that, so I took a look at that yesterday. They got that done. While they had it, I have them fixing the lights, because the lights for the plow were never set up properly. It was kind of a real get it fixed type of thing in the middle of a storm, and they've been that way ever since, so they're wiring them correctly now.
okay, who's doing this now?
Albany Service.
Okay, great.
So we should be getting that back, so that wrap, that looked nice, that's gonna protect that big time. He pulled out quite a bit of junk out of that thing there. So that's good. The compressor in the shop, we've got an air compressor, big Ingersoll Rand, they're worth a few bucks. Well, we were blowing out the cab of the grader today and realized it was spitting a lot of water, so there's a petcock valve on the bottom of those that you're supposed to, open regularly. Well, I don't, think that's been opened in a while, so we went to open that, and it was all stripped up and corroded, and we had to get the wrench and take it off, and we did, and a lot of water came out of it. Now those things also have oil in them. There's a number on the thing for service. It's probably old, I've never seen it get serviced, but it might be wise to call that and see what a service for that would be, because to replace that compressor could probably be a few dollars. Maybe the oil changing of it is as simple as something that we can do, or something like that, I don't know, but it might be worth checking into.
Yeah, if it can be repaired and brought up to regular maintenance.
Right, I mean, it's working, it's not like something but I mean, if there's some maintenance that needs to be done on that, I've been here 8 years and 2
And never,
days
ever.
now. And it's never, I've drained that peacock valve a few times, petcock valve there, but, you know, I've never done any other maintenance to that. We are gonna need a new hose for it, which is that's, you know, because that's got some leaks in it, but,
Yeah.
that's another issue.
Yeah, look into that and get back to us on what that
Is
is.
it a
Okay.
local company?
Yeah, it looked like it was out of Manchester,
I
but,
see.
It'd be interesting also to know what the replacement cost would be.
yeah, I could check that out too. Like I said, it's working, but I know there's an oil level and you can see it, the oil in it is black.
Yeah, it's probably never been,
No, it's never been changed as far as I know. But,
Preventative maintenance.
right. So, and other than that, like I say, we're gonna get some ditching done, and we've been doing some ditch work with the backhoe. We've done some stone lining of some ditches, and culvert cleanings still going on. So, we're gonna stay busy.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I have. If there's anything else.
This is not anything major, but now that the grader's back, I know there are certain EPOA members who are itching to talk to you about this
Right.
plow event.
Yeah.
oh, wow.
That's going to be, you know, really dependent on you and Tony and your availability.
Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that. I gotta get, Alan over at Albany Services got the plow for the grader, because that needed some tightening up. There's some points in that had gotten loose, and bolts and the pins and things. So we brought it there like right when we took it off, and had just took it off right there, and I gotta get on him to get that fixed. He said they were kinda slowing down. I know he's on vacation this week. But the guy said they was on vacation. But yeah, so I could get that fixed. I don't want to take it back and have to bring it back to him.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'll see what he can when I get the truck back in the next couple of days, if they can get on that plow, and then we could get that back, and then we could set something up and they could paint it.
Okay, great. Once that's all squared away, we'll have Doug and Carrie, or Doug and or Carrie, come in for one of these meetings and
we could
we'll
arrange
discuss
it.
it.
Discuss the
and
days.
Yeah.
dates and all that stuff.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, another couple of things I wanted to talk about was the rafts. Do we want to pull them in at sometime after Labor Day?
Yes,
We'll get those in, and then speed bumps as well.
yes,
Okay. All right. Good. Well, I
that's
know
standard.
the buses. Yeah, the buses are going to start running, so we like to get those up so they don't
Yep.
have to deal with them. And
They're
then
gonna start
obviously-
this week, aren't
I
they?
thought so.
There's some kind of orientation at the high school, but I don't think school starts till
Oh,
after
okay.
Labor Day this
Oh.
year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's a good thing.
Wow.
Jeez.
The buses are running today because, like I said, they're offering a service back and forth to the high school. And I only know this because I got a boy going into the high school. But yeah, so we'll take care of that stuff. I'll talk with Doug about the rafts too.
Okay.
And we'll go from there. I know I got the buoy still from that one on Idlewise. We did the repair.
Let's discuss rafts. As we recall, some unauthorized individuals took it upon themselves to put the raft in at Tussis Beach and hook it up themselves. And Doug and I went out there and looked at it, and they did it incorrectly. They didn't do it horribly, but it was still done incorrectly. So we had to do it. So I guess I want to bring up do we want to maybe think about, and this may not be possible, staging those rafts back at DPW2 like we did when they were pulled a couple summers ago, as opposed to leaving them on the beaches where unauthorized people next year can say, I want a swim float, so we're going to just do it on our own, because luckily no damage was done.
Right.
Well,
The problem with that is hauling them around the road.
Right.
They get banged up. I mean, they're not in the greatest shape as they are. I would.
Okay, so the actual hauling them around.
I would think maybe we could put a chain around it and hook it to a tree with a lock.
Okay.
I mean, I know there's bolt cutters and stuff, but I mean, it's a deterrent.
Yeah,
Right.
this group didn't have bolt cutters.
No, I know, 'cause we never done
they,
that.
Right, they were just at the beach and said, hey, why
Right,
don't
you had
we
a
put
couple
this
of muscle
swim
men
raft
and
out
they were able to
ourselves?
push it out.
Yeah, and just.
Normally, that's not an easy task. There must have been quite a few.
Oh, yeah,
rugged
there
dudes
had to
to
have been
do
at least
that.
4 or 5.
Because it's
Okay.
not, we could pull them up a little
That's
further.
why I'm bringing it up. I don't
Right.
know. I don't know what the if it's more damaging to the rafts.
I
guess
think
it
it
is.
could be.
Okay.
It's a possibility.
may I ask why it wasn't put in at the beginning of the summer? Was there something wrong with it, or?
What do you mean?
No.
I'm trying to
Oh, no,
understand
no,
We
no.
put them in shortly after Memorial Day. What,
Right.
you know, sometimes we try to, in the past, we used to get them in like the Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah,
You know, I don't know what the deal
so
was.
someone
if
took it upon themselves to.
Right, and
put
pushed
this
They
it.
put them in
So-
earlier than we normally would have. I
right.
think they went in at the correct time. Maybe
Yeah.
it was a little bit later. And there was
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
flat,
It was-
we put them in
It was
second
like
week
Flag
of
Day,
June.
it was like the middle of June.
Yeah, it was like the fourth.
Yeah, there would have
Yeah.
been a good reason for that. And
Memorial Day, sometimes it's a little cold, sometimes you get a beautiful weekend.
Right.
People, I think that's when they pushed that one in, or it might have been the weekend.
And this was the first year of the new system for putting them in.
Right,
You know, we had it, with everything in place.
right.
You know, last year I was getting all the anchors and blocks put into place, and now
Right.
that I think Doug's got you all trained up now, but
Well-
he'll want to be involved in it.
Yeah, he's still the mastermind, but we were able to figure it out.
He'll be there. Don't
It
worry.
was
I'll
trial
probably
and
be
error.
there
We
too.
hooked it up wrong, a couple of them wrong, and had to realize it wasn't twisted. So we did get it, but no. Yeah, so we'll coordinate that then.
But on the plus side, it was during the EPOA event when the musician Steve was there at Ice Beach, his first performance. It wasn't the cookout.
Right.
I saw a bunch of young kids on that raft out there, jumping up and down on it, just like others had done, nearly flipped it. There was no way it was going to happen.
Right.
No way.
Which is good.
Which is
Yeah.
good. I was afraid that maybe they were going to damage the raft, but they weren't going to flip it.
Right. Well, it might have popped
So
one
that
of
new
them
anchoring
floats.
system is
You
working
never
out,
know, right?
working out
Yeah.
exactly as intended.
Yeah. No, that's good. That setup is perfect. It really is. Hauling in them cinder blocks. I'm not the young guy I used to be. And when 4 of them wrap around together, that's the chore.
Yeah, yes it is.
Wow.
So this system works out a lot better. But, alrighty,
All right.
I will let you guys continue.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
So
Unless there's anything else.
just to make it formal, I'm gonna make a motion that we sign, even though we already did, the disposal agreements for 10 Burn Drive and 1324 Conway
The
Road.
1324 is the newer one. You've already
Yep.
voted on the
Okay,
other one.
I'll second that.
aye,
Awesome.
I
Thank
will
you.
contact him today.
yep.
Yeah, beautiful.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff.
All right, no public appearances. So the next thing is administrator's report.
Okay. We've got, 9:32.
Yep, 9:32.
Okay, so I'm actually gonna give one back to you. So we've got some driveway inspections or applications
Okay.
/ inspections for 3 locations. 38 Burn. This is that Ken Lewis. So this needs to be inspected. This is the gentleman that you talked to, the people that were working at the time last week, advising them that we did not have an application on file.
Oh, yes, the one
Yes.
I got to the drive
So
by,
he
yeah.
immediately came in that day and completed what he needed to and did his payment, so
Okay,
So,
got
right.
that here.
So that's
And
just a
then-
final inspection then, I guess.
Well,
We'll do both.
he's
both.
really, what he's doing is just fixing his driveway.
He's paving.
right,
Yeah,
yeah.
all
And they
right.
did do a nice job.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, 25 West Bergamo. This is the gentleman that we sent a letter to
Yes.
advising that
Mhm.
it appears as a curb cut for a driveway, whatnot. You guys probably saw the email going back and forth.
Yep, I know exactly. I've been
Yeah,
there.
so he's
Walk by it all the time.
completed a application, provided the $200 fee. But this is only to refrain from getting the $500 a day penalty.
But he indicated that he's not in a financial position to actually start
Start a
construction.
driveway and start building anything.
So then how do we deal with this situation, Nancy, when the expiration comes up? Because
My thought was, rather than having him do a full application now, when we know he's not ready to
Right.
build or take any action on it,
Okay,
that we send it back to him,
Okay.
and send him a letter with it saying that as long as he closes the curb cut,
how do you do that?
he can just put the dirt back.
Okay.
There's plenty of dirt right in that
He
area,
does
so
There's a lot of-
access
just
in his
cleans it out.
property.
There's a lot of debris up there,
Yeah,
chop
Yeah,
down trees and stuff like that.
yeah, so
Right.
he does occasionally visit and kind of wants to keep it clear, doesn't want it too overgrown.
right.
Um,
And I know he runs his dog up there and
yeah,
something like
so
that,
he
you know?
does, he does,
Right,
you know.
right, so as long as he's not putting a vehicle into it, he's parking
Well,
on
he's probably
the side.
parking like yeah,
Yeah, as long as he's parking on the side of
Okay.
the road,
all right,
It's easy
there
to do
shouldn't be
there.
an issue with
Yeah,
that.
You're off the main road there, so.
Right,
all right, so we could do a reimbursement and you can do up a letter.
We didn't even
I
deposit
guess.
the check, right? We're just sending it back?
Oh, no, the checks get
Oh,
deposited.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, gotcha. All right, and just let them know that, resubmit when you are ready to go.
right,
Pull the trigger in the
He'll
meantime.
appreciate that.
Right, keep
very
the
much.
driveway pretty well sealed up.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, all right.
Okay,
okay,
beautiful.
so,
Rather than go through
Yeah.
this, your thing is expired. and all
yeah,
that.
because otherwise we know that it could be a couple of, he said it could be a
You
while
can't, you can
before
never
he's
tell.
ready.
Right,
So since there's not gonna be any building or anything like that that's gonna be happening on the lot,
right.
then,
Okay,
Beautiful, he'll appreciate that, because he was very concerned.
yeah, and when I saw the information that he sent in,
Yeah.
a driveway permit, I
Yeah.
went, this is to avoid a fine.
It sure is, that's
And-
the last thing he needs.
Right,
Okay,
right, and
gotcha.
so,
Beautiful,
got it.
you agree with?
I agree with that.
Okay, so we'll make a motion that we send a letter.
Yep.
Reimburse the driveway permit
Beautiful.
fee.
Yep.
And, have him close the curb cut
Yep.
area.
Yep,
yep,
I second that.
Okay? Aye?
Aye.
All right.
thank you.
And I think he'll appreciate that.
Me too, greatly,
Yeah, because otherwise we know what we're setting ourselves up for.
yeah.
Because we have too many,
Yeah, we
have too many
many
expired
expireds.
driveways in the first place.
Yes.
There's
So
another
we,
5 letters,
exactly, so we know we're setting
Yeah.
we're setting up for,
okay,
okay?
great.
So the next one?
42 Burn, okay, so this is that Laura that you talked to.
Yes.
They've marked, they've staked, where
Good.
you've advised and the
Okay.
whole bit, so you guys need to schedule
Okay, so that's
to
gonna be an
go out.
inspect?
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys wanna schedule that today, or,
I can't do it today, but if, I could certainly make time tomorrow. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna say Thursday. I could do it tomorrow, late, I could do it late tomorrow afternoon.
You wanna do it, Thursday afternoon?
Yeah, I think I can do that quick. Let me just double check my calendar. But I think that's fully doable. Yeah.
Cause I'm gonna add,
Thursday PM.
to Chicora Review to, the reinspection when we get to
okay,
my commissioner's report. So
Beautiful.
there'll be 3 that we'll be looking at.
That's fine, that's fine,
Okay.
okay.
Just so you know, timing.
Yep.
sometime Thursday afternoon, but you're not square on the time yet?
Well, let's firm it up right now.
Yep.
Alright, great,
Thursday afternoon is the 29th. You wanna say 3 PM? Does that work for you, Nancy?
Yep.
Okay.
okay.
And which one do we wanna start with?
Burn, because there's gonna be 2 on Burn.
Yeah, that'll be the easy
Okay, great.
way to start.
Yep,
So that would, let's just start with the paved one, 38 Burn.
Yep.
okay,
And move on down.
All right.
Okay.
So What time did we just set that for?
3.
3 PM, Thursday.
Thursday. 3
I'll bring my magnifying glass.
p.m. And I'll try to remember my tape measure.
Oh, yeah, that's right. We keep forgetting tape measure. I should just
We
keep it in
forgot
the
that
car.
last time.
Buy a new one.
Keep it in the car. I agree. Just keep it in the car.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So,
9:48.
yep. So there's no old business tabled item.
Nope.
And so next is signature items.
Okay, so the first one is this is what I've done up for the trust of the trustees,
Uh-huh.
transfer of funds.
Okay.
So I have that here. I actually not sure if I should be including all the Simply Water backup with it.
It won't hurt
Okay, so.
if it's already right, you know.
Yeah, I was hoping to run it up there today, but I'll have to make copies. Yeah, so this is ready. Does Dinah usually have to sign these as
No.
well? Okay, thank you. So this is a transfer of funds from the water line extension to water assessment. Yep. So that's basically reimbursing the water assessment for what we've paid Simply Water for water hookups.
Mm-hmm.
That makes perfect sense. Okay.
Okay, so just to make it official, gonna make a motion that we sign the application to the trustees of the trust funds.
Got it.
Yeah.
I second the motion.
Okay, great.
Okay? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Water hookup application results?
Yeah, so this, oh, not this one, sorry. All right, this is, the 22, okay, so the water hookup application results form was never officially done
Oh, okay.
for 22 and should be done, so we have it on file.
Yes, and I believe Ian's scheduling this, right?
Yes, it's scheduled for Thursday.
Okay.
So that's a new construction just past the Hutwell parking lot?
So this is the one that was confused with burn. It has a burn access.
Oh, it's got the two side
Right.
ones? Oh, okay.
Right, it has the two.
Oh, which nothing has been built on yet, it's just been cleared.
It's been cleared, they're waiting for the water hookup to get the foundation in.
Right,
Got it. Okay,
because
okay.
he's going for his permit.
All right, so I'm gonna make a motion that we sign
Yep.
the application results for the water hookup for
22.
22 Burn, Hutwell.
Hutwell.
So that's gonna be the official address now as opposed to the?
It is
Burn?
22 Hutwell.
Okay.
Okay, phew. Man,
I know.
I'm glad he made up his mind which road he decides.
Well, I don't
Decides it's gonna
think
be
he
his
really
address.
had a choice. I think they basically told him.
Okay,
Okay,
it's only corner lots, I guess, where the owner
Yeah.
gets a choice.
so did you give a second?
Second,
Okay, aye?
aye.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm not sure on this one. Okay, so I did the letter.
Okay,
And basically, it's just a carbon copy of what he's provided us.
yeah,
I would assume Mark's signature needs to be on this as well, or before I mail it off?
we know that, yeah, we'll make sure that Mark
Okay.
Mark signs it as well.
Okay.
But we can have
So-
it, we can have it ready.
All right, great.
So we actually
So-
already made a motion to do this, right?
You did
Okay,
on the last meeting.
All right.
So
Yep.
that's just the final copy for signature.
yeah. So really, anytime there's two commissioners present, anything can be
Signed,
signed, motioned.
right?
In general, it is better
Mhm.
that all three of us sign it,
Yep.
but it's not required by law. But we would, you know, I know Mark will wanna.
I think you would
Mark will
want
wanna
to.
sign these.
All right, great. All right, awesome.
Okay, so that takes care of that one.
Yep,
And we'd already done a motion last week, so we don't need to do that again.
right.
All right. So, commissioners' reports.
Mhm.
I'm gonna make a short one for Mr. Graffam, that he did send an email to the FEMA contact
Mhm.
saying that he will remain as the contact and confirming this coming Thursday's FEMA meeting,
Correct.
that he will attend, and if he needs the DPW, which he might, they will also, he'll get in touch with them
All right, great.
regarding that. And that makes you next.
Makes me next. Okay, I got a couple things. First thing, regarding the Summit Cabana, yesterday, A Perfect Landscape and Construction started putting in the new doors. So I was there all day with them for, you know, security purposes. Doug is with them today, Doug Prescott. That should be wrapped up today. So, man, new lighting, new doors. We'll have a great new space for record storage, which then segues into, at some point, Jennifer, not now.
What?
And probably not anytime major soon, but there's probably a lot of records currently at the office that have reached an age that they can be turned over to the village clerk. So that'll be between you and Doug Prescott. So,
Yeah, there's at least a few boxes that are a couple years old that are in the office.
yeah,
And we can get that stuff out of your way.
yeah, get it so you don't have to bother with it.
I thought you couldn't get rid of anything. Where does
No,
it
the-
go
No, no.
after?
They're going to the cabana,
Oh, yeah.
The record
the-
storage.
Okay.
to the record
It's
storage.
up to the village clerk to go through the New Hampshire state RSA requirements as to what documents have to be retained and which
Oh,
can just,
gotcha.
which can be, you don't have to worry about it. You just, other than, let's, you know, give them the stuff that you don't need anymore.
At the office.
Right,
Right.
right, right.
Gotcha.
But on the downside, we still have about, I'm gonna say, we still have like 30, 40 boxes up there with the old stuff that needs to be sorted through. But look how
Yeah.
much we did last year.
Right,
We
but
got halfway through that in a matter of weeks.
yeah, part of the unfortunate thing is that now we're on the board. We weren't on the board last year.
Well, Mark was.
Mark was, but we were not, so therefore it was not commissioners' meetings when we were going through, because all commissioners were not present.
Only one commissioner
There
can
was
be
only
there.
one
Okay,
commissioner
okay,
present.
Okay,
So we can set it up if we wanna start going through boxes, but we will have to post it as a commissioners' meeting.
Oh, gotcha.
So we will have to know in advance that when we wanna go
Right.
through the boxes, the next bunch of boxes, you can certainly talk to Doug and see what his schedule's like.
Right.
And, between yous, you can, and we can post it, and that way we can continue to help.
okay. It'll probably be like last year. We'll pick one day a week for morning hours and just do it.
Yeah.
We got a ton of work done last year.
Yeah, and we
Yeah.
did it doing that way,
Yep.
so I'm just
We did
putting
it.
it out there that now that we're commissioners, it would be, we would have to post it as a
Right,
commissioners meeting.
absolutely, yep,
And
yep.
granted, we're gonna be at the cabana looking at old records, but it still has to be posted that we're gonna be together, working
Correct.
on district,
At the cabana.
Yep, that makes
district
sense. Okay,
stuff, you know?
okay. But to
Gotcha.
get back to the point, after over a year's worth of work, we're finally getting a real workable space there, so.
Nice.
I mean, we made it a workable space last year, but it was under less than ideal situations with nasty lighting that blinked on and off and doors that were questionable. So now that's all been prepared.
And nasty, insulation.
Yeah, well, that was all gone by the time you guys came up. Doug and I took care of that.
That's, wow.
But the point is, thank you to the voters for passing that warrant article
Yeah.
so that we were able to make this happen, because it's now a useful space, whereas before it was just a junkyard.
That's great.
And although it was a great home
Oh.
for the rodents,
Yeah.
but no longer.
Yeah, no
Um,
longer, and that's a good thing.
But there's still like plumbing and items that are there that.
No,
you
plumbing's
had
all
mentioned.
been,
Oh, it has?
it's all, there's no plumbing there anymore, no.
Oh, I thought there were.
The issue was the
items that-
electrical. The electrical was dangerous. That's why we had that taken care of. New lighting, so it's bright,
Okay.
and new doors for security.
Okay.
Okay, what else do I want? Okay, I have a potential lead on for a DPW highway employee, but if, Jennifer, you could just send me what we posted in the Conway Daily Sun. I don't have a copy of that anymore. So when I talk to this individual, I can just give him the bare bones, and if he chooses then to go ahead and submit a resume, that's up to him.
Okay, so what, are you talking about what was submitted on Indeed? Because what we posted on the Conway Daily Sun didn't say much of anything.
Right.
You know, this is a real unknown at this point, but everybody I meet who's in the area, I ask them, hey, do you know anybody? So I asked the A Perfect Landscape and Construction guys, and they said, yeah, we had someone who came to us, they did part-time work for us, a real good guy. He came back to us saying he wanted a full-time job, but we just don't have the amount of work to offer him a full-time job. So he may be a good candidate for what you're looking for. And I said, well, then I'd just like to talk to him and feel him out.
And
So I just need a bare bones.
He's licensed and.
That
he's-
I don't know. I don't know.
So
Okay.
he could just log on to Indeed and look up what the posting.
I will tell him that, but if I could just read what we,
The posting might not be there anymore.
but do we have
because
like it
that
on a
expired.
copy of Word or something
Yeah,
we sent to him?
I
That's all I
printed
need.
it out.
That's all I need, so I can,
Okay.
Yeah.
I just need to give him, you know, the bare bones that we put on the
Yeah.
Conway Daily Sun, then tell
Well,
him to
the
log on
Conway
to.
Daily Sun isn't gonna tell him anything.
Right.
All right, well, I obviously can discuss more about, but the details like the salary range we were talking about and some other things.
That's on Indeed.
Mhm.
That's the
Okay.
printout. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll pick up a copy of the printout?
Yeah, I'll come by the office later this week, just pick it up, and then I'll call him and try and feel him out,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay, and hope, so then third thing was, I said I'd take up the new phones,
Yeah,
mobile phones for the
Spectrum.
DPW, so I went to Spectrum last week, and they looked up our account, and this was mind-boggling, they said we had 3 different accounts. So I went and talked to Jennifer, said, what are they talking about? We only pay 1 bill, which is for our internet service. So I'm not sure what that's all about. Jennifer gave me a printout, I'll go back and say, this is the only one we know of.
It's the only one they bill us for.
Right, I was wondering if you knew about any other accounts we might have had for anything?
I think they were mistaken. I'm not
All right.
sure what they were talking about.
Talk to a different person, get a different answer, that's what
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and it could have been a mistake
Or
on.
they were looking at older accounts that are no longer active. I
Right.
don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. As for their deals, they still have a deal in effect where if you buy 2 phones, they will cost you $25 per line for the first year. Then after that, it becomes $39.99, just rounded up to $40 per phone. They showed me 2 Samsung Galaxy phones, the A35 and the S24. The A35 is less expensive. It'd probably suit our needs just fine. If you were to buy it outright, it would cost $300, or you just work it into the monthly payments for 36 payments of $833 a month. So it'd be that $25. There's 1 phone only. 25 plus $833, so we're now up to $33.33.
But that's one phone.
That's 1 phone, so $66.66 for 2 phones before all the taxes and all that other crap they add on for the first year, and then it goes up, like I said, by about $14 for the second year. So I'll still take a look at it, so we can price that out. And they've got good cameras. I researched the phones. They got good cameras,
Very
and
good.
everybody who's a Spectrum Mobile in the area seems to have. The only people who seem to have problems in this area is Verizon.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Which is humorous because when I first moved into this area, the only thing that worked was Verizon.
Yeah.
And
Me too.
and it has definitely changed over the course of a lot of years.
Yeah,
We'll
over
just
10
leave it,
years.
we'll just leave it
Yeah.
at that.
Agreed.
So hopefully
Okay.
next week I'll have that whole issue squared away, but then we can make a motion as to whether to go ahead with this or not.
Uh-huh.
Yes, it's gonna cost a little bit more money, but everything's costing more money
Yeah, but you're
now.
getting new phones
You're
too.
getting new phones.
Right.
We know that these guys, the current phones they've had for 7 years, that those probably should have been replaced at least 2 years ago. So-
Oh, yeah.
It's a flip phone. It's a flip
Yeah,
phone.
yeah.
No one has flip phones anymore. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Except
Okay.
Mark.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, go. Scratch that.
All right, on my fourth item, I accompanied this past weekend John Roshars and Bob Ingram on the VLAP testing on Middle P and Big P. That was a very interesting process for the water testing, so that was a very illuminating, educating thing for me.
Pond
The
testing.
Pond testings, yeah.
pond testing, and so we should probably see the results of that in several
In
weeks.
fact, I got something Friday in the mail.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you to, again, these are volunteers, Bob Ingram and John Roshars. I know sometimes Doug goes out, and then there's another individual named Phil, I can't remember his last name, but they're dedicated individuals who, it's kind of a laborious process, but it was still very interesting.
When did that occur?
That was Sunday. VLAP testing took place.
Oh, interesting, because we wouldn't have the results of it.
And then on a final last note, again,
You probably got last month's.
Yeah, maybe.
yeah, that would have been, they
Okay.
test,
Yeah.
they test June, July, and August.
Yeah,
So this is the last one for the year.
I gotcha.
Then on a final note, again, thank you to the EPOA for the ice cream social on Saturday night up at the summit. It went very well. I know I met a lot of young families who they're not full-timers here, but they do have houses and brought the kids up, and they loved hanging out, seeing the view, and having ice cream.
Yes, it was good.
It was a good time had by all. So again, thank you. I think the EPOA this past year or several weeks, summer, whatever, has done a fabulous job, and there's still more events coming up this autumn, so stay tuned.
Yep. Okay.
That's it.
All right. So, this was a process and something that I mentioned months ago to put the motion log together. I started working on it. I started with the last couple of weeks just so that we knew what was going currently, and then I backed up to when we became commissioners in February and put in February, March, April, May, and I still have to do June and July, or the last of July.
I see.
So I will continue to work on that, but there's a couple of things that I've noticed in reviewing this, is that there's, and this is for all of us, there's things that we have agreed during discussion, you know, like that I was gonna work,
Made motions.
you know,
for
but
that.
not made motions.
Oh,
So
interesting.
there was never a motion that I was gonna work with you on the DES and the DRA and those portals.
You actually have to make a motion to do that?
It makes it clearer when it is done that way, through
Okay,
motions.
okay, gotcha.
Because it's the board agreeing to do something and assigning it to one particular.
It acts as a tickler list, so you can see whether
Exactly.
it's an open item or a closed item.
Right, right,
Agreed.
right. So that was one of the things
Oh,
that.
wow.
So that was one of the things that I noticed.
Okay.
One of, you know, so what working on should be motions.
Yeah.
And that's just something that we need to be aware of, and
Nice.
if you're aware of it too, then
Correct.
you can help keep us online. One of the other things I noticed is that there were some motions to expend money, and we did not state what line item the charges are going to.
Oh.
So that is something that we also need to be aware of, because it makes it clearer for Jen as well, that you know this is being authorized to be paid from this account.
Okay,
or
give an
from,
example.
Gravel.
Yeah, okay.
when
well,
we, you know, and
Yeah.
we have line items for
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
But it also lets us look at the last profit and loss to see how much more gravel we've
Yeah.
allowed, you know? And, you know, so
Yeah.
just, like I said, things that I
Yeah.
noticed.
Great.
And one of the other things I noticed is, and this is a choice that we can all make, I've used people's names, you know?
Okay.
And I looked back and there's like 4 pages of Nancy doing things in 2017, you know?
Yeah, I'm sure.
But if it would be better or easier for people, we could use DPW and office. And then Board of Commissioners, what I started doing, if you looked at the later one that I sent, I think it was yesterday, it shows Board of Commissioners and then says which one of us is working on it in the notes. So that's just
In the notes,
You
what
know,
notes? Status area?
yeah, the status area,
Okay.
you know, and I
Yeah,
do
'cause
have some notes
Yes.
past it, you know, and I actually named that column notes in my latest.
Okay. Is notes gonna be part of the whole?
Yeah.
Because it, okay,
Yeah, we might have to make it landscape instead of,
Yeah.
you know,
Portrait, yeah.
so that it's readable
Yeah, that makes
when
sense.
it prints out.
mhm,
You know, so just like I said, that's just going to be a choice whether we want to use, you know, office or in DPW versus.
well, you have a lot of BOCs.
Oh yeah, the majority of it is going to be the Board of Commissioners.
Okay, gotcha.
But you know,
I mean, I don't know,
So it
I
should be-
mean,
yeah, there
Sure.
were a couple that I had your name on. There's
yeah,
a few that I have Jeff's
no
name
problem
on.
with my name being put on it.
Okay,
Um,
it was just going to be a choice whether
Yeah,
we wanted to use
Titles or?
I have no problem
yeah.
with it.
titles or names or what we want to
I don't
use.
think it really matters.
Okay, so we'll just leave it as is.
Yeah,
So, with that spoken, the,
I did have
okay.
are we still on this?
yep,
So I did have a question on this line 5, bill shut-offs to property owners.
uh-huh,
Okay, so it's not just shut-offs, there are turn-ons too.
hmm
So I don't know if
It would be
you wanna
both.
rename. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I can fix
All right,
that.
okay, great. And, so the status should change on that because those have all been billed.
Okay, yeah, and
And I think
I,
that's what you
yeah,
were.
yeah, I figured they were
looking for.
done.
Yeah.
I just didn't know a date or anything,
Yeah.
so I just didn't, you know, I just left it there.
So, and then getting further, the next one down, ordering checks for the new operating account.
Uh-huh, that was
Okay,
already
so-
done.
Well, I reached out to Francine.
Okay,
She has yet to reach back out to me to confirm information in order to do that.
okay.
But now we've got the new water hookup
Mm-hmm,
account, which I'm assuming you're going to want checks on that account.
yes, because that's the one that
Correct.
we're gonna be
Right.
paying the
So-
vendors through.
So I think you should make a motion for me to move forward with Francine to move forward with getting checks on the water hookup account. Because you only voted on the new operating account.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make that motion that we get checks for the new hookup,
Yeah.
water assessment hookup account,
Yeah,
I'll second that.
which is
Excellent.
its actually official name that we voted many months ago. And none of us remembered that.
You're right.
And that's
yeah, many months before
Many
I
months ago.
started.
okay?
Yeah.
So, did you
second
second?
that, yes.
Okay,
Great.
aye,
Aye.
all right.
Great, thank you. Because that'll kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so some things that I've noticed, and I think you might have some of this under correspondence. Primex. sent something requesting approved budgets.
Primex?
Yeah, for the boiler
Was it?
agreement or some agreement.
I thought it was inspections for boilers.
Okay.
I don't recall reading budgets. I recall reading that they wanted inspections for boilers for insurance purposes. What boilers do we have?
The New Hampshire bond that's listed here is requesting copies of the audits.
Okay. Yeah, I might have
But that's different than
I might have
Primex.
just listed it as
But
Primex and,
there is a couple of things for Primex that are out there.
okay, yeah. The boiler, I think we took out. We used to have an oil burner, for the heat
Right.
in DPW and the office, and that has been removed. So I think, we can,
So someone should respond
We-
to my email that I forwarded to you on that,
yes,
and how you want to respond to them on that.
okay, so, yeah, just to verify whether or not it's, been removed and to let Primex have that information. So I'm gonna make a motion that
Mhm.
I'm gonna take that,
Okay.
I'll second that.
okay?
That was the only boiler we had in any of our facilities, was in DPW 1.
Yes. So, aye,
How are we
Yeah.
heating that now?
propane,
Propane.
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, when they redid the office upstairs, they got rid of the oil burner and the thing itself, the boiler itself has been removed. They took the wall, the retention wall
Yeah.
that they had to have to make sure that there wouldn't be any overflows, that was removed.
Right, that's right, that's right.
Yeah, so, but I will definitely verify and reach out to Primex to let them know that we've removed it and see whether or not
Yeah.
they still want to have somebody come check
oh.
to verify.
right, because it
you
did
know?
say something like
Correct.
that too, yeah,
Correct, you know, so
Yeah.
they can come verify.
gotcha,
Alright, so we'll take that one.
yep,
And
What else
I
you
think
got?
you have Kathy there? Oh,
yeah,
okay,
well,
so-
okay, so you're gonna schedule to Chicora Drive for, the reinspection
Yes.
on Thursday, okay? And so the draft letter for 16 Grissom Road.
Okay, did you get a chance to look at that one? It's the same one
It's
that
the
we
same
sent to the
one,
person
so
in Grimsdale.
Yeah, so I didn't bother, I did the letter that you guys can sign so I can make a copy
That
of
was
it
a
and
really
get it
nice
out.
house we,
Yes.
yes. I think
All right,
we're-
great.
Yes. Okay, so I'm gonna make a
that's
motion
done.
that we, sign the letter for 16 Grissom.
I'll second that.
Aye?
Excellent.
Aye.
Anything else, Nancy, on your agenda?
Yeah, I wanna see a, follow-up to the auditor.
Yeah,
And I think you could send them a follow-up, see if there's anything still outstanding on our side. I believe we answered
yep, we
His
did,
final-
and I
yep.
think he acknowledged that.
and he acknowledged
Yeah.
that, so, now
Just
we
to
need
be
to.
sure that we're moving
Yep,
forward.
Yep, make sure and see if he has a date,
Timeline on
a
when.
timeline for when we can expect to
Yeah.
see the audit, especially since we know the bond bank's gonna be looking for it.
Well, eventually they will.
Yeah, I think in the meantime, they might accept a copy of this year's approved budget. But that's something, yeah, Dinah might have to
Uh-huh.
answer that one. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
All right, so let's finish with you first before we move on.
Okay,
to-
and yes, and we already said that we're doing the inspections Thursday at 3.
Yeah.
And we will get to Chicoro Review on that.
Okay,
Sheriff's agreement. I did reach out to Sheriff Riccardi. He's gonna dust off his copy and see if they have anything. He's not aware of anything that they're gonna want changed. So this is, and I also think that we should create an agreement with Conway. I have verification that Conway does have equipment in the cabana, and also has some
For both
ears,
the police and for
some
fire
ears.
departments.
Yes, for fire and 911. The only thing this room in the cabana and the tower is used for is 911. This is not the radio tower that's across the
No,
street that we
no.
make money on.
But when you're finished, I got a question still about that.
But I think we should probably send a copy of the agreement. We can send it to council if, just to make sure there's not anything that we're missing, and have them create one that changes the sheriff's department to the town of Conway. Because we're gonna need to have two. One with Conway, one with,
correct.
And are we offering them the same deal, or are we gonna ask for some maintenance expenses since we have to plow up there and maintain the building and things like that?
we haven't determined that.
Okay,
You know, this is very early stages. It's something that won't get signed until sometime probably the very end of the year, possibly even the beginning of next year. But it is something that the voters ratify. So we will have to have it ready early enough that it's on the warrant.
Gotcha.
okay. So here's my question. When I was up there all day yesterday as the assistant village clerk for our space, Ospey Mountain Electronics came in to do some service on the sheriff's equipment. So I asked him, can I just peek in and see what it looks like in there, because I'd never seen it. And it's just rack-mounted electronic equipment with battery backup. It was pretty straightforward, and he was just servicing it. But what I never realized, I can't believe I've missed this, is there's actually another space with a separate door on the other side. And I asked the guy, what's that for? He says, oh, I don't know, that's for something else. Do you know what that's for? I mean, I looked in the window and all I could see was like electronic, like boxes where electricity, boxes that they were powered up. Is that part of the sheriff's county equipment too? There are two discrete spaces up there. The one that the sheriff has there, that rack-mounted electronic equipment.
Yeah.
And then there's a door on the back side of the cabana on the back far side. Like I said, there was a window I could peek in and I saw some electronic boxes. They weren't electronics.
You can't get in there?
I have no idea who has the key. I took a picture, I'll show you. I have no idea whose space, who's responsible for that. There's, okay, so the sheriff's county is on this side, but there's another little space right here that door goes into that's separate. There's two spaces back there.
Huh,
Maybe Mark will know. But,
I don't know.
all right, we got a mystery. We got to find out what that is. But when I peeked in the window back there were fired up boxes back there. It wasn't a very big space, more like a big closet. But nonetheless, there's something in there.
Okay,
Belongs to somebody.
yeah, we can see what that is if they have stuff in a second compartment.
Okay.
And you said that the equipment in there appeared to be powered on?
Yes. Like I said, it wasn't electronics. It looked more like, not an electrician, but you like a relay box or some sort of more like what you kind of see like in the pump stations, that kind of equipment where the power's coming in and metering stuff.
Wow.
That could be from their from the antennas.
It could well be. It could be
Okay.
all, they're just keeping it separate from the electronics.
Yeah.
Probably is it, but I think we should know what's up there and
Okay.
who has the keys to that space, because the guy was servicing the electronics really didn't know anything about it. He thought it was a defunct room, and I'm thinking, well, it's not a defunct room, it's something's, there were lit up boxes in there.
Well, we can certainly check that out, you know? So I'm gonna hold on, actually
It may have, you know.
making motions to,
Oh, yeah.
to set this
I
stuff
agree.
up
It ju-
until the full board is able to
Yeah.
determine whether or not we wanna make any changes to the thing as it is. But like I said, I just said last week that I would reach out just so that they
Yeah.
would, and his exact words were, he'll find it in the pile, he'll find it in a drawer and dust it off. You know,
All right.
so,
All right, and it just occurred to me that may have, with the boxes I saw in there, may have been transfer switches for the emergency generator. They do have an emergency generator up there if we lose power, so that may be what that's for. Which the Ospio Mountain Electronics guy said sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. That's why they got a lot of batteries in the main room.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah. So, the other thing I have is, I think we should actually make a motion for either one of us, I'm not sure which one, but make a motion that somebody contact the bank that does the Lowe's card, contact Napa, and contact Coleman for general information of charges over the last couple of years.
Napa, Lowe's, and Coleman.
Yes.
Okay, I will take that up for action.
Okay.
So it seems to me,
So
Okay,
I'm guessing
so-
you're gonna second that motion?
Okay. Yeah, motion
Oh.
first.
Yep. So make a
Yep.
motion that we contact these people for the information that we need for the last couple of years.
yeah, I'll second that motion.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. And if you wanna take that one, that would be great with
Yeah.
me.
No, I will do it, and I'll see you, Jennifer, to get the, whoever,
The information.
the contact info.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so I,
Aye.
2-0. And we're not gonna do it today, but we also need to think about setting up, I'd like to set up a permit, sure.
What?
Driveways are on my brain.
Yeah.
Set up a time where we're going to have a draft for updates to the driveway ordinance. Because then we're gonna have to have a public hearing, and get that updated. I have looked at the driveway ordinance and I have multiple
Oh, I'm sure you
changes
do.
on each day or each page.
Yeah.
For things to update. So,
So it's kind of in preparation for the
yeah,
warrant?
yeah. So what we generally will do is we will create a draft.
Yeah.
Probably run it if it's significant. The changes are
I see.
significant, and a couple of them I think are.
Yeah.
We'll probably want to run them through council.
Okay. So
and-
who's counsel?
Laura.
Oh,
So
Oh, okay, gotcha.
yeah, the lawyer. So
Yeah.
we'll run it through the lawyer.
Yeah.
Make sure that we're
Yeah.
not overstepping anywhere or things like that,
Okay.
and then we'll set up the public hearing to do it. But I just don't want that to fall apart, you know,
Right.
to fall
I
off
agree,
the
but-
radar.
But let me ask, what is the best practices to do this? Obviously, by the time we get to the public hearing, our draft as a board will have been prepared.
Yes.
But to get to that point, clearly you've been a lead on this, but I'm sure Mark's gonna have some input, I'm gonna have some input. Are we gonna call a special meeting of the Board of Commissioners, announce it all there, where the sole focus for an hour or two is just on all of us pooling our ideas together or discussing it, so that we get that draft version we're happy with, that we can then schedule a public hearing.
We can do it at commissioners' meetings if we choose, or if you want to actually set up one of those separate meetings where the commissioners will be together, that we would have here, that the round table that we talked about a long time ago, a citizens group type thing, to see if anybody else has any input. You know, we could do it either way.
Yeah, I like that. And the reason I say is we cover so many different items at commissioners' meetings, which a lot of it is standard, ongoing, repetitive business. Then there's some new stuff. But the point is, there's a lot.
Right.
I would like something that's focused.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my druthers.
Yeah, no, I agree
And
with
it
that.
doesn't have to, it could be, 2-hour meeting, and like you said, you've already made a lot of annotations. I'll go through it with a fine tooth and comb, and to the best of my ability, I'll add some stuff, and I'm sure Mark has some ideas too. And
Oh, yeah.
if we could do a focus group meeting, it would be great if some public people come, but chances are it's just gonna be us three, but that's okay.
Well, and if
You never know.
it's us, it's us.
It's us.
But there, like you said, there might be other people that, that are interested
Yeah,
in coming.
okay.
So,
So I would like to make a motion that we do a specific focus group meeting of the Board of Commissioners, open to the public, so Citizens Action Group, whatever you want to call it, to hash this thing out so we can come up with a draft version that can then be presented at an official public hearing.
sounds good. Second.
So it's just a posting, but you guys don't know when you want
Not
to
yet.
do this.
That's still to be determined, but rather than do it at a Board of Commissioners meeting, just have a separate meeting that focuses on nothing, like
Yeah,
the
the
driveway
focus is on
ordinance,
this.
and not get distracted by any of the other stuff that,
Well, then I would add that something similar should be the same on the water hookup.
yeah, you're absolutely
As
right.
well.
I think any of those, anywhere where we have an ordinance.
We can actually do both.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously we found that glaring error in the water,
Yeah.
that refers to driveways needing to exist.
Yeah.
And we know that that's never been followed, but the basic fact of the matter is, if it's not getting followed, it has to be changed in the ordinance,
Correct.
because nobody has the right to not follow an ordinance, So we'll add a water to that as well. Okay, so now that we've motioned to do that, do you wanna do a feel out, maybe someplace in the middle of September?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's make it
give us at least a couple of weeks to,
Okay. I'd say in the latter half of September. I only say that because I have to go away to California for a wedding the second week. I'll be at the meeting, and I'll be back for the next week's meeting. But I'd say anytime from the 16th on of September, during maybe those last 2 full weeks.
okay. So right now, we'll set it for later September. Sounds good. And now it'll be on the log, so we won't forget it.
Right.
Okay, so Nancy's second. And,
Aye.
okay.
Aye.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, I think that's enough for me.
You sure?
Sorry. Okay.
All right, so we did talk about the Kathy, the trust of the trustees already, so
Okay,
we've
good.
got that here, and you guys signed it. And then, okay, so now we're getting back to the bond.
Yep.
They're requiring copies of the 2022 and 2023 audits that are finalized.
Okay.
And I am absolutely unclear as to where I can find those. I don't find anything digitally in the system, nor the filing. I did find one thing from 2022, but 2023,
Do they,
not,
don't they include 2 years in the final report?
I
No.
have no idea.
They don't?
Each audit is each year.
Oh, 'cause sometimes they give you a comparative to the year before, but I guess not. I gotta,
Well, there's things in the audit that refer to the prior years.
Oh, because of the year, yeah,
Right.
because of when it was paid, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
right.
Right, but there should be a copy of the
Have
they-
audit from
So-
22, because that was finished.
Yeah, I've got a copy of the 22 in my files.
So
but
is it a packet? What is it? I don't even know what it would look
I've
like.
I've only seen them in
It's a
PDF
book.
formats, but they should
It's
send.
a book. They
yeah.
send us this.
A physical
Okay, so
copy.
I did find one.
Uh-huh,
That's it. That's all I can
For
find.
what year?
for 22.
2022.
Okay,
So they'll send us a 2023, we just need to find out when are we gonna get the physical copy of it.
correct, so that's the, goes back to get in touch with the auditor and find out the
When they're
status.
finalized, is there anything
Right.
else that they need? And-
Right.
And
Which I'm sure it's getting close. so.
I'm hoping they have the
We're-
courtesy of
we're-
Upstairs.
sending us not only a physical copy, but a PDF copy, as opposed to us having to scan the entire physical document.
Normally they will send it electronically.
Oh,
Or they
really?
won't they send it in the mail? Both, won't they do both?
They'll do both.
That's
Yeah,
a huge
that's-
document, because this thing is this thick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping they send us a PDF copy
All
and
right,
then a
well, I'm
physical
gonna have
copy.
to ask for the 2022, because I'm not pulling apart this
the book to try to,
It's impossible.
right,
Well, wait a minute, who needs this again?
The New Hampshire
bond bank.
Municipal Bond Bank.
Won't a PDF copy suffice for them, or do they have to have a
Right, but I'd
physical?
have
Yes,
to
but we-
request
we,
a PDF.
she
I
she
searched
just
the system.
couldn't find it.
There is nothing that exists on the system that I can find, nor the cloud, of a PDF document that speaks to,
2022.
or, yeah, 2022 PDF document.
I'm pretty sure I've got it.
All right, if you
I
can
will,
do a search,
I'll put
that
that, I
would be
think I got
great.
2021, I think I've got a couple years worth.
Cool. Yeah,
It would be
'cause-
very helpful.
Right, because remember I did that comparative analysis
Mhm.
with the old
Yeah,
mega group, and, okay.
All right, thank you.
yeah, so if you have it,
Yep,
you can
yep.
send it to Jen,
I'll
please.
Yeah.
send whatever I have to you of,
Yeah.
prior
Otherwise,
year.
in my inquiry to them about the 23,
Ask them to send
I
it.
will- Yeah.
Yeah, because like you said, once it's in a book, it's almost impossible to try to take it apart.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
I can't do that.
No,
Yeah.
no. That's why I asked.
All
They
right.
are gonna send it to us both in a PDF and a physical copy.
Correct.
Yes,
Yes.
All right, awesome.
okay. And then we'll be able to get back to them and let them know the status of the 23 one, as well as get a copy of the 22 to them.
Right.
So that'll take care of that.
Okay. So this inquiry that Kathy Moore has, I forwarded this to you. I brought a
Yes.
copy of it as well. So I don't know how to answer her on this inquiry.
Is she just asking for the original
Oh.
article?
Yeah, she's saying that the bank has them listed as extendable trust funds, but she has information that they were actual capital reserves, not expendable trust funds, and there is a difference. And it was originally set up as the Public Works Fund, that I know. And I do believe it was a capital reserve.
So, is that how we answer? It is a capital
Yeah.
reserve fund and not an
Yep.
expendable trust fund?
Okay,
Yep, they're both capital reserves.
beautiful. Okay, thank you.
Yes, yes. All right, so, no public. No, not, we're gonna hold on the non-public.
Yeah,
So the next meeting will be Wednesday, September 4th, because of the holiday Monday. So, I think we're
Okay.
done.
adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.